Elon Musk is known as a future-minded kind of fellow. A tech king would be a more appropriate title for him as things stand right now. But one thing the second richest man on the planet is less known for is his beef with some rather big people. Big as in the President of the United States and a former presidential candidate kind of big. Yes, Elon Musk has been talking about Joe Biden. And that's not all. He's also taking quite some heat on Bernie Sanders. Elon's clash against the president is more in a formal manner, and when it comes to Bernie, it's more like a Twitter war, and whoever keeps up with Elon Musk's tweets will know that Twitter Elon is a savage. So, what's all this trouble about? Well, let's take a closer look at that all today. I prefer to stay out of politics. Those were the words of Elon Musk. If so, Musk has a funny way of showing it. Over his decade plus of public fame as the chief executive of Tesla and SpaceX, the South African-born tycoon has attacked everyone and everything, from Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders to individual regulatory officials, to COVID rules, trade unions, and pronouns. If you were to put an exact start on the event that initiated all of the tension between Elon Musk and Joe Biden, then you would have to point towards the EV summit that was held in the White House. Back in August 2021, President Joe Biden celebrated ambitious electric vehicle goals by automakers at the White House. Great, right? But what's wrong with that? One simple thing. He forgot to invite the company that is leading the EV industry right now, Tesla. Joining Biden were executives from General Motors and Ford, as well as Stellantis, the company formed by the merger earlier in 2021 of Fiat Chrysler and France's PSA. But electric vehicles are only a sliver of these companies' US sales. 1.5% for GM and 1.3% for Ford so far this year. And Stellantis doesn't even have any pure EVs for sale on US soil yet. Meanwhile, Tesla makes nothing but battery-powered electric vehicles, and always has. So why wouldn't the world's biggest maker of EVs be invited to the table? Well, you're not exactly the only one who's wondering about that. Yeah, seems odd that Tesla wasn't invited, the company's CEO, Elon Musk, said in a tweet overnight. Then, back in September during a guest appearance at the Code conference in Beverly Hills, California, Elon Musk made a number of comments regarding President Joe Biden's administration, seemingly in a follow-up to Tesla not being invited to the White House EV summit. He was quite a bit frustrated, which was a bit obvious from him, to be honest, but at one point he suggested that the administration is biased against the EV maker, and listening to his logic behind that suggestion, you could say that the man has some points. This is what Elon had to say. You know, Biden held this EV summit, didn't invite Tesla, Musk responded. Invited GM, Ford, Chrysler, and UAW. An EV summit at the White House, didn't mention Tesla once, and praised GM and Ford for leading the EV revolution. Does this sound maybe a little biased or something? And you know, it's not the friendliest administration. Seems to be controlled by unions, as far as I can tell. One potential reason for the apparent snub, the United Auto Workers Union will also be at the ceremony. The UAW represents workers at GM, Ford, and Stellantis, but has been battling, so far unsuccessfully, to organize Tesla workers at the EV maker's plant in Fremont, California. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked about Tesla's absence at a briefing ahead of the event. I would not expect this to be the last time we talk about clean cars and the move towards electric vehicles, and we look forward to having a range of partners in that effort, Psaki said. Asked if Tesla being a non-union company was the reason it wasn't included Thursday, Psaki replied, "Well, these are the three largest employers in the United Auto Workers. So I'll let you draw your own conclusions." More onto that, the Biden administration's made some previous statements about promoting greater use of EVs, which also pointed to their importance in creating good-paying union jobs. Not only that, Elon Musk is undoubtedly known as the fellow who revolutionized the EV industry, and the whole world knows that. But it seems the President of the United States has some other ideas. Joe Biden attended the inauguration of GM's Factory Zero, the company's first electric vehicle factory, and he gave a speech in which he gave credit to GM CEO Mary Barra for electrifying the entire auto industry. That all certainly must have come as news to Mr. Musk, whose own company has been leading the way on EVs in the United States for almost 20 years now. Well, that's not the first time President Joe Biden overlooked Elon Musk's success. After SpaceX completed a historic private spaceflight back in September, Elon Musk took a pot shot at President Joe Biden, who had yet to remark on the company's and the civilian flight crew's accomplishments. SpaceX safely returned its Crew Dragon spacecraft from orbit yesterday. The capsule carried the 4 members of the Inspiration 4 mission back to Earth after 3 days in space. One of Musk's 60 million followers on the social networking platform Twitter asked him, "The President of the United States has refused to even acknowledge the 4 newest American astronauts who helped raise hundreds of millions of dollars for St. Jude. What's your theory on why this is?" Musk replied, "He's still sleeping." This marked the first private SpaceX spaceflight with a non-professional crew. Additionally, the mission involved the first black woman to serve as a spacecraft pilot, the youngest American to become an astronaut to date, and the first person to fly in space with a prosthesis. But Joe Biden still has yet to say anything about this big achievement of SpaceX, and humankind as well. More recently, in the ending month of 2021, the founder of SpaceX and Tesla took dead aim at Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion Build Back Better bill that congressional Democrats are struggling to get across the finish line before Christmas. Musk, who literally kept his Tesla venture afloat in its early years by taking advantage of billions in federal subsidy dollars, panned the BBB bill despite the fact that it contains hundreds of billions in new, expanded EV and renewable energy subsidies. "Honestly, I would just do this whole bill," said Musk. "Don't pass it, that's my recommendation." The Build Back Better Act, which has passed in the House but has yet to go to the Senate, includes tax incentives of up to $12,500 for vehicles built by auto worker union members to spur consumer demand in electric vehicles. The Biden administration's effort would reinstate a $7,500 federal credit for Tesla, which doesn't have union workers building cars, once again giving Tesla the same credits that many other automakers are still eligible for. But Tesla has been operating without the standard $7,500 for nearly 2 years now, and is doing just fine, Musk said. When it comes to Bernie Sanders, he has one thing to say to Elon Musk, and it's about taxes. For those of you who are not aware of the incident, a Twitter exchange had unfolded between Sanders and Elon earlier in November, when the 80-year-old politician tweeted, "We must demand that the extremely wealthy pay their fair share, period." Commenting on Sanders' tweet, Elon posted in a not-so-graceful comment as he wrote, "I keep forgetting that you're still alive." In a second tweet, Musk wrote to Sanders, "Want me to sell more stock, Bernie? Just say the word." Musk's tweets come after his trust sold more than $5 billion in Tesla stock last week. Sales that came after he polled his Twitter followers asking whether he should sell 10% of his shares in the company. Musk sold nearly $7 billion of shares in Tesla, more than $5 billion after asking Twitter followers to vote on whether he should do so, and then more than $1 billion. In yet another tweet directed at Sanders, Musk wrote, "Bernie is a taker, not a maker." In March, the independent lawmaker, along with Democrat Elizabeth Warren, proposed a 3% total annual tax on those whose wealth exceeds $1 billion. The proposal also included a 2% annual wealth tax on the net worth of households and trusts worth $50 million to $1 billion. Sanders has previously stated that a tax on billionaires would substantially reduce wealth inequality in America and stop our democracy from turning into a corrupt oligarchy. Musk has been critical of such tax hikes in the past, writing to one of his Twitter followers last month, "Eventually, they run out of other people's money, and then they come for you." So, that's all for today, folks. Be sure to like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you in another video. Ta-ra.